Mental health is a life sentence without parole. Too many of us carry invisible wounds, trauma, loss, shame, and silence. I created the Crawl, Walk, Run podcast to break that silence, to give a voice to the voiceless. This is not just a show. It is a platform, a place where authors, veterans, artists, survivors, and everyday people can share their truth without fear of judgment. We crawl through the darkness. We walk toward healing, and we run into purpose. Together, we will build this community. This podcast is about resilience, about stories that matter, and about reminding the world that your voice could save someone's life. I'm your host, Steve-O, and this is Crawl, Walk, Run.
Today, I want to introduce you to someone whose story cuts deep into what it really means to fall through the cracks of a system built to protect those who served. April Hathaway is a U.S. veteran and a mother of two, including a young autistic son, who has fought harder than anyone should ever have to just to secure a safe place for her family to live. What she's been through isn't just a housing struggle. It's a window into how vulnerable veterans can be when the safeguards they rely on simply don't work. In 2023, April purchased a home in New York through a VA-backed loan, a home she believed was safe, approved, and ready for her kids. But shortly after, she uncovered problems that were far more serious than anything she had been told. From local conflicts that made selling nearly impossible, to later inspections revealing major issues that should have been identified long before she bought it, the experience became financially and emotionally devastating. After pouring her savings, time, and energy into trying to fix what she could, she found herself traveling back and forth across states, managing mounting expenses, and navigating a system that offered little real support when she sought help. The foreclosure that followed wasn't just a financial blow, it was a breaking point. Hoping for stability, April turned to a second VA-backed home in Georgia. But once again, serious concerns surfaced that contradicted what she believed she was buying. Instead of relief, she found herself reliving the same nightmare. Through all of this, she has worked relentlessly, documenting everything, protecting her children, and trying to hold her life together while carrying the weight of a struggle no veteran should ever face alone. April's story is not about blame, it's about exposure. It reveals how easily a veteran can be left unprotected by gaps, oversights, and inconsistencies in a system meant to serve them. And today, she's here because she refuses to stay silent. She wants her experience to stand as a warning and as a call for stronger oversight, clearer safeguards, and real accountability. This is more than a housing fight. This is the story of a mother, a veteran, and a woman who is still standing even after being let down at every turn.
All right. I am Steve-O, and this is Crawl, Walk, Run podcast, episode 6, season 2. And today I have a special guest, and I'm trying to work my technical difficulties, so please bear with me. This is going to be a really good one. This is Army veteran April Hathaway, and I call this Our Broken Home. So I would like to bring her into the studio and introduce her.
Hi, how are you? Can't hear you.
I said, how are you today?
Oh, I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So let's get started. What is Crawl, Walk, Run to you?
I mean, I guess honestly, it's just taking things step by step, trying to get footing. And once you get your footing and try to figure out kind of where you're going, you can kind of run to where you need to go. It's processing, I guess. It's just process.
Okay. So what is trauma? And if you don't have trauma, what do you do to help other people with trauma?
I mean, I definitely have a lot of trauma, especially, I mean, all the way growing up, all the way through this situation. I think trauma changes the way that you see the world, changes the way that you deal with things, and it can change you one way or another in how you help others deal with their traumas. Either you can withdraw or you can be the voice for other people. I think in my case, I've chosen to try to be the voice.
Okay. I go by 1821 Productions, Voice of the Voiceless. So we are the unheard voices of the voiceless. So all the stuff that you have going on, what are some of the coping mechanisms you use to help you and your family forget about what's going on a daily basis?
I mean, honestly, there's no forgetting about what's going on. It's every minute of our day thing, trying to kind of navigate the sea, I guess. A lot of what we do is spend time as a family, know that we're still here, we're still fighting for each other. I do a lot of writing, I sing, I reach out to the community. I've been helping a lot of other veterans with the same kind of issues that I'm having with their VA home loans. That's pretty much how I've been dealing with it. And I've managed to help out a whole lot of other families that are dealing with the same thing. And that's very helpful for me. And it keeps us kind of sane in a way.
Okay. How is your military transition?
Definitely a mix. Some parts were easy because I'm used to the discipline part of things. I'm used to rank. I'm used to structure. But other parts, not so smooth. It's weird going from the level of structure that we had to the civilian world where there's basically none. It's definitely taking time to kind of adjust to. There's not a higher anarchy that we answer to most of the time. Everything's kind of all over the place most of the time.
So you have a very different situation than usual people have on podcast. So
yeah.
I would like you, the floor is yours for however you want for 20 minutes. And if you run out, we have talked about some things that I'm going to bring up and you can show. So I would like you to tell everybody this situation that you have going on right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down, and if you're more comfortable with me being here beside you, if not, then the floor is yours.
I mean, you can stay there. It's fine with me. I mean, my situation is something that, for one, I never thought could even happen. Everybody hears raving reviews about VA home loans and how the VA is so incredibly strict on the borrowing process and the underwriting process and the inspections and the appraisers. And it's definitely taken me by shock and surprise. We bought our house in New York in 2021, actually. And we were living there for a little bit, and we started noticing odd things that just weren't right. Neighbor came up to me and said, "Hey, septic's on my land." So of course I had to research it, and she let me know that it was on her land and that there was no easement in place, and it became a huge issue between the neighbor and I. And then when we finally got around to selling the house, because we realized that there was no heat after installing a pellet stove and trying to push heat upstairs, we weren't able to keep up with the heating costs. It didn't make sense. It wasn't holding any heat. So we decided to sell it, and then another person came in and put a deposit down and had their own inspection done, and then all of a sudden everything kind of just rolled downhill. Their inspection brought up things that weren't on my inspection. It kind of snowball affected, showed that the house was a 2-story building, illegally built on top of a trailer frame with no foundation. There was no insulation. Nothing was up to code. Pretty much needed to be demolished was the final answer from the town and contractors. This town actually came in and condemned the home as an illegal dwelling. We had to move. It's been in litigation for almost 3 years now. That itself was horrible. Like I said, it's been in litigation for 3 years now. The loan agency that we bought the loan from has sold it to another entity, which is now trying to deny the fact that it's even in litigation, and trying to foreclose on the home, is refusing to put a stay on credit reporting. So even with myself, my attorney for the house in New York, and representatives from the VA, they just literally refuse to put a stay on the credit reporting. They're trying to say that it's not in litigation. So my credit score has dropped from a high 70s to a low 500. And everything else on my credit is actually perfect. I have nothing else on my credit. So that kind of brings me into us having to move out of that house and move back home to Georgia. We bought another house with another VA home loan. Come to find out, the home that we bought here was sold by flippers who had their own employees do the appraisal required repairs. And the first appraiser refused to sign off on it. She came back 3 times, refused to sign off on it. So the mortgage company went and had another appraiser come in and sign off on everything and say good to go, and sent it up to the VA for underwriting. And the VA just stamped off on it and said good to go. Since we've moved in here, we have had 6 floods, 2 insurance claims, which has raised our mortgage almost $800 a month. Our entire downstairs had to be completely gutted. We had black and purple mold everywhere. When they were ripping down the walls, we found out that their kitchen sink wasn't even attached to anything. It was just pouring into the basement. There was pipes down there that had been corroding and leaking for several years prior to us actually buying the home. We've had an electrical fire for the electrical box overheating. We had to replace the entire electrical box and half of the wiring in the home. Then the HVAC also was not working, even though it was certified to be working. We had to replace the entire HVAC. We had to rip off the entire roof after part of it caved in. Found out that some of the structural beams in the attic were actually broken prior to the sale of the home. So the entire thing had to be replaced. Either way, we've been just financially hit after hit after hit. And unfortunately, going back to the credit score, because they are continuously negatively saying that they're not liable and I'm still liable for this loan, and refusing to put a stay on credit reporting, I'm unable to get financing for any of the repairs here in Georgia. So everything that I've had to fix so far has either had to come out of pocket or had to have been done by donation, which we had a man come through. I should have given you his information, Steve-O. His name was David. He runs a company for roofing, and David Wilson, he actually came in and redid the entire roof and all the structural for me, which was a godsend because we had immense leaking throughout the house and it was just getting really bad. Through all of this, I think a godsend and also a sad point was once the New York went onto the news, we actually found out that there were several other veterans that are going through the same thing with this VA home loan issue. And they started reaching out to me. So I started pretty much a group of us, a rally to kind of hold the VA accountable for the red tape and the politics of not helping the veterans with this issue. I mean, I have a full list of people. I mean, here's just a few: Alexander Jimenez, Julie Pereira, Crystal Graham, Eurydice Ruse, Constance, Tamika Ryan, Jolynn Kirshner. I mean, these are veterans, either Air Force, Navy, Army, Marines, and they're all over the country. And they're all living in homes that were deemed unlivable or condemned or been foreclosed on because they couldn't afford to repair all of the things that were wrong that didn't come up on inspection reports or appraisal reports. And then when all of us reached out to our council and the VA, all we got was red tape and politics back. Even for just in my situation alone, Attorney General wrote out to the VA, and the VA emailed back to the Attorney General with, quote unquote, "We know that she can't afford an attorney, so let her foreclose on the house. Send her to loss mitigation." And these are the answers that all of us veterans are getting. It's not just me. And like I said, I mean, it's sad that all of these other veterans are going through what I'm going through right now, because it's horrible and it's life altering and it destroys us. I mean, I've got 2 kids. Some of these other people have kids. The last 4 years of my life has been completely engulfed in trying to fight this and trying to make sure that I salvage the little bit of stuff that we have left after everything's been ripped away from us. And it's sad to think that there's other people going through what I'm going through right now. It's sad to know that other people's children are being affected the way that my children are being affected right now. My son is almost 5 years old. He is autistic. My daughter is almost 9 years old. Half of her life has been consumed by this. This all started when my son was 6 months old. It's all he's known. It's sad.
So, all right. That's so terrible that the system is not working for you and others. So
it's not even that it's not even working. It's the fact that they're just completely pretending we don't exist. The Congress, VA, governors. I mean, I've written out to every single person, OIG, news stations, and all these people have. We've all been reaching out to all of our Congress all across the United States, and we just get ignored. We get automated messages back, or we get pretty much messages saying, "Sorry, we can't help you." And all of us have done our time. We were loyal. We spent our time in the military. We put our lives on the line. And now that either we're out or this has happened, everybody's turned their backs on us.
Wow. So the other individuals that you named,
Yes.
do you have any? Is there any like positive cases? I know with you, weren't you served paperwork alongside the road or something?
Yeah, I got pulled over about a week ago to get served foreclosure paperwork for the house in New York, which is an active litigation for fraud and malpractice, which is actually illegal to do. But as I said earlier, the company that we are actually suing, the mortgage company that we're suing for the selling the illegal dwelling, sold that loan to another entity, and that entity is refusing to acknowledge the fact that it's in active litigation for fraud. So what they're doing is illegal, which I just actually got a hold of the attorney that's trying to do the foreclosure, and sent her all the information. And I don't think that the mortgage agency actually let them know. They've actually been sued several times prior for foreclosing on houses that were in active litigation for the same reasons. So I sent over all the information to the attorney that's putting it into the foreclosure, because I was like, you need to look at the court dockets, because if you look at the court dockets, you guys filed in the exact same court that the active litigation is going on in. So I sent her the court numbers. I sent her the numbers for the court case. I sent her all the documentation. I sent her the correspondence between the mortgage agency and myself all the way back almost 4 years now, like messages of me telling them, hey, it's an active litigation. You guys need to stop negative reporting. You need to stop doing this. And then they just keep ignoring me or pretending it's not there. I even sent the attorney the letters to the CFPB and the mortgage company sending me a fake fraud investigation lawyer. My lawyer looked him up and contacted him, and he was like, no, we don't even work with this company. I don't know what you're talking about. So it's just a bunch of craziness. Honestly, it's just everything to pretty much screw over the veteran and make sure that they fill their pockets. They don't care what happens to us. They just want their money, just like the people that sold us all these houses. They just wanted to pad their pockets, and they didn't care about the outcome and the fallout of what was going to happen to the family that they were selling it to.
Could you elaborate how Thanksgiving went? You told me how Thanksgiving went.
Our Thanksgiving, everything's been kind of bare around here. Everything's been going into repairs and stuff. Our last Thanksgiving was go to Walmart and grab a turkey and use whatever we had around the house to make a Thanksgiving dinner with my kids. We already had a full conversation about how Christmas is going to go. It's going to be about spending time together. It's not going to be about what's under the tree. And they're okay with it. Not that they should be, but they are.
So are you going to, so I'm going to drop the GoFundMe, but can you just explain to people, like maybe, because it's done a lot of people, because I'm going to put this on TikTok as well. If anybody can donate, like, well, what would your son like for Christmas? What would your daughter like for Christmas?
My son is autistic. He loves sensory things. He loves art. He's really into Minecraft right now. I don't know why, because he's never played it, but he likes watching people play it.
Minecraft.
Huh?
Everybody's kid did Minecraft. Mine did.
We don't really play video games. Like, I don't really allow video games here, so I'm not really, like, he likes watching other people play it, so he's really into it, and he really likes that Gray character from Wenda and Gray or whatever it is. I don't know what it is. But my daughter is very into baby dolls, and she loves K-pop Demon Hunters. I'm not sure. Kids like odd things sometimes, but she's obsessed with them.
Your daughter likes Barbies?
It's some new show, K-pop Demon Hunters.
Okay, so
I'm not sure.
I know I can do one thing, because my kid has hundreds of Barbies, and she's 18 now, and it's like, Dad, I don't care. So after the show, you'll give me your address, and I'll throw a crap load of Barbies in a box.
Oh, she'll love that.
And you can do whatever and say Sandy came. Do you guys have an elf this year?
We do. It's hiding. It hasn't come yet. She keeps asking. She's getting up in the morning and asking me where it is, and I'm like, oh crap, I forgot. I've been working 13.5-hour shifts at the mental asylum, so I've been a bit tired.
And you also drive with the Uber, right? Yeah.
I'm working my normal shift job, and I also do Uber when I'm not working at my regular job. We're battling close to $6,000 a month in bills between this and all the repairs, and we still haven't gotten our basement done. And it just, I went down there myself and cleared everything out of there and put an ionizer down there and cleared out all the mold and took it all to the dump and all the sheetrock, and it's just bare concrete and beams down there right now. I just had to rip everything out to keep the mold out.
So I know you probably don't want me to say this, but I think you're the next big thing in the country scene.
Stop.
But
Stop it.
we're gonna come to a close. But one of your coping mechanisms is you sing.
I do.
And
I started singing songs about this. Yeah.
And I'm going to share at the end. We have about 5 minutes. That's like a 3-minute video. And then do you have anything else to say to everyone who's listening? So, like I said, we'll go ahead and put the GoFundMe. I got lots of veteran buddies podcasts that I can blast this out to and blast that GoFundMe out and try to get, I have seen people go and do the Amazon thing where you request things on Amazon
Yeah.
and they'll send it out and then they'll ship it immediately to you.
Oh, that's cool.
I'll talk to you offline on that. A couple podcast people did that. I didn't even know who these people were. Dude asked for an electric bike. I'm like, nah, I'm not getting him an electric bike, but I'll get him the clothes up that he needs.
Yeah, definitely. If anybody sees this and wants to send anything, we could definitely use some clothing that actually fits my kids right now.
All right.
We went out. I went out and spent a whole paycheck on clothing for them, just for them to a month later grow out of everything I bought them. So,
overall, you have a happy family. You look like a very happy family. Your kids are bouncing around. The dog is barking.
Yeah.
You got a grade game, right?
Yeah.
The bigot. I'm sorry.
Grade. Yeah. Yeah. We have 4 dogs. They're all rescues. I do that when I do have time, we take in rescue animals and try to rehome them. But unfortunately, we keep getting stuck with ones that don't want to be rehomed. So now we have 4 dogs, 4 cats, a bunch of rabbits, a bunch of ducks. Yep.
Is there anything that you would want to say to anyone else before we end this and I play this amazing song, amazing voice?
I think the biggest thing out of this, like I said, I'm running out of time to be able to even sue anybody or do anything about what's been done to me here in Georgia. I only have till January to find an attorney for this, or I'm kind of SOL, so to speak. So, if anything, if I can help other veterans that are in this situation, at least get the word out. One of the things that I've been putting all over my social media pages is your voice still matters. If this has happened to you, please reach out to me. If I can't help myself, I'd at least like to help you. I know how it feels, and it's nice to at least have strength in numbers. So
cool. Well, April, I thank you very much. I would do the praying thing, my hands, but I got to hold my phone on top of this. I'm not even going to explain it, but anyways, you've given everybody your undivided attention. Everybody's listening to you. I wish you, family and everything, a Merry Christmas. This is going to stream next Wednesday, a week before, 2 weeks before Christmas, so that we could try to get some stuff to your family. I'm going to try to reach out to some veteran friends. Actually, I'm going to try to reach out to the SMA that I told you about and see if they can even try to come and do any kind of repairs for free. Because, if they're building houses for people that are completely handicapped, move that type thing, why can't they come and just repair your stuff, So, but we all have stories. We all have trauma. I believe mental health is a life sentence without parole. So I'm going to drop you down and we're going to play your amazing song. I will get with you offline. Thank you very much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Go ahead and here. Where you at? Ooh. Remove from the stage. All right. I am Steve-O. This is 1821 Production, Voice of the Voiceless, Crawl, Walk, Run, episode 6, season 2, with April Hathaway. And I just want to say you have to listen to this woman's voice. So I'm about to play this. I'm going to drop off, and then the show is going to close out. Thank you very much for your undivided attention. Please help. The GoFundMe will be in the link. Amazing. Look at these amazing kids. Hold on. Overlay. Look at these amazing kids. All right. I am Steve-O. I'm out. Have a good one.
Where were you? I wore the boots, I paid my dues, people thought the VA stood for truth. But when I called, no one came. Just another file, just another name. You promised safety, said I'd be fine, backed by honor in a crooked line. But this house you said was home is crumbling down to broken stone. Where were you when the walls gave way? When the lies I bought made my kids unsafe? When the inspectors checked the box and ran, left me holding hell in my two hands? Where were you when I cried at night, begging someone to make this right? You said you'd stand for what was true, but where were you? The realtor smiled, shook my hand, knowing full well this was sinking land. Title company signed in ink on permits that were forged, don't you think? They all got paid, then turned away, left me drowning in decay. I was sold a lie in brick and board, and the VA said we can't do more. Where were you when the walls gave way? When the dreams I built were set ablaze? When I begged for help and you looked through like my kids were less than worthy too? Where were you when the truth was known? When I stood betrayed, broken, alone? You claimed to serve the red, white, and blue, but where were you? Is honor just a ribbon now? A headline you can't back somehow? 'Cause I gave all I had to give, and you let my babies live like this. Where were you when the walls gave way? When the mold and cold stole their light each day? When the justice you swore slipped through? Tell me, where were you? I'm still here and I won't forget the pain, the lies, the deep regret. I'll speak the truth till it cuts through. 'Cause I was failed, but I won't fail them like you.
Crawl, walk, run has been brought to you by 1821 Productions, voice of the voiceless. If you have a story, please reach out. We are the voice of the unheard. Till next time.